Hi everyone, I'm Chong Wen for GottaBeMobile and Notebooks.com. In this multi-part video series, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S3 smartphone, which is Samsung's third generation Android flagship device. In the first part of this video series, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the hardware features and walk you through the device. The Samsung Galaxy S3 smartphone will be launching on 3 major US carriers starting on June 21st, including AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile USA. It will also be launching in the coming months on Verizon Wireless, US Cellular, and C Spire. The device will launch with a dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 processor, which differentiates the US model from the international flagship model, which has a quad-core Samsung Exynos processor. In early testing, the Snapdragon dual-core processor holds up well against quad-core models, and we're going to go ahead and walk you through some of the device's specs. However, do also join us in other videos in this series as we cover some of the other features of the phone, including the Android operating system as well as Samsung's TouchWiz UI, other software and hardware features including sensors, other smart features such as the smart stay on the screen, as well as the camera, multimedia, and sharing features of the Samsung Galaxy S3. I'm Chung Wen, thanks for watching this video, and join me now in this video review as we take a look at the hardware features. In the US, the Samsung Galaxy S3 smartphone will be available in either 16GB or 32GB of internal storage, with users having the option to purchase an additional memory card up to 32GB to augment whatever is configured on the phone. The Samsung Galaxy S3 smartphone will be either available in a marble white finish, which is just a glossy white color both on the front and the back. So here you do have the bezel in white as well, which is similar to what the iPhone has. The device will also be available in the US in this pebble blue color, which is a very dark navy blue that has a brush metal kind of finish on it. And you can kind of see the brush metal grains here on the front as well as on the back rear battery cover as well. On AT&T's network, you do have a third color option in a red color, but that will be exclusive only to AT&T in the US. So here, let's go ahead and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S3, which Samsung claims to have a new generation of Super AMOLED display technology, which makes the display even more vibrant and rich while retaining a more true-to-life color experience, so it isn't as hyper-saturated as previous version of the Super AMOLED display. So here you do have a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels, which is slightly more narrow than the Samsung Galaxy Note, which has a larger 5.3-inch display with an 800 pixel across and a 1280 pixel resolution. Here you have a 4.8-inch display, and then at the top you do have this mesh, which is for the earpiece speaker, along with the ambient light and proximity sensor, which adjusts or turns off the display depending on the ambient lighting conditions or what mode or usage situation your phone is in. There's also here at the top right hand side a front facing camera for you to take self-portraits or conduct video chats as well. Just to the bottom of the massive display here, you can see a change from the Galaxy S1 and the Galaxy S2, which were sold in the US, in that you no longer have 4 capacitive Android navigation buttons. On the previous versions in the US, Samsung eschewed its hardware home button in favor of 4 capacitive Android touch keys. Here you do have a hardware home button, which you do have to press in manually or physically, and then you do, to flank to either sides of the home button, you do have a menu button here on the left hand side and then a back button on the right hand side. Let's go ahead and take a look at the features of the device. On the left hand side you do have the volume up and down speaker, and you'll notice that there's this chrome trim that surrounds the bezel on the sides of the device, which is attractive. On the top you do have a 3.5mm headphone jack, a notch here for you to pry off the rear battery cover, as well as a noise cancellation microphone. On the right hand side, you do have the power on and off button, which you can activate to turn on and off the display. And then on the bottom, you have the micro USB charge and sync cable. This will allow you to either connect your phone to the wall outlet to your computer, or if you purchase an optional MHL adapter, it will allow you to also plug in an HDMI cable to connect your phone to the TV to mirror whatever is on your phone's display to a larger HD TV television. There's also here the regular microphone for you to take and place voice calls on. On the rear of the device, you'll notice here that there is a LED flash, an 8 megapixel camera, which is also capable of recording 1280p HD video. To the right hand side here, you do have the rear loudspeaker, which does sound very rich and is adequately loud for speakerphone calls or playing music out of the loud rear speaker. You'll notice here on both the AT&T and the T-Mobile USA versions that carrier branding is kept to a minimum on both devices. On the front, you do have at the top the Samsung logo, and you'll notice that there isn't any carrier branding on the front of the device. On the rears, you have the carrier branding here at the center, and then on the bottom you have the Galaxy S3 branding. Let's go ahead and pry open the rear battery cover. And you can see here with the rear battery cover, it's a thin polycarbonate material, which should be a little bit more durable than the generic plastic that Samsung used on its older generation plastic Galaxy S1 and Galaxy S2. And even with the polycarbonate material, you can see that the rear battery cover is very flexible, and some might call it a flimsy, but when it's placed on the device, it actually feels very solid. So you do have a little bit of a more solid build quality, although with the battery cover off, it does feel like just a cheap piece of plastic. The device does have a number of wireless options. Here, this is the AT&T model, so it does have HSPA Plus, as well as 4G LTE network connectivity. It does have Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi Direct, DLNA for sharing, as well as NFC, which is built into this 2100 milliamp hour battery, which does give you about a day's worth of usage time with the Galaxy S3. The battery is slightly smaller than on the Galaxy Note, which has a 2500 milliamp hour battery. And although this model that I have only has 16 gigabytes of internal storage, I can go ahead and get a micro SD-HC card and plug it into this spring-loaded card slot. So you just push your card in to load and then push in to eject out the card. And I can add up to 32 gigabytes with the SDHC format. And here you have the micro SIM here for AT&T. Again, this micro SIM card is also spring-loaded, so you just push in to load the SIM card, and then you push in again to eject the card. So that's a nice little feature to have spring-loaded mechanisms. Also with this phone, users will notice that there is, right now you can't see it because I don't have any new notifications in, but there is an LED notification light here at the top left hand, here we go, corner of the device. So it does blink or glow depending on what you have going on. And the nice part is that you can go ahead and semi-customize the light, although you can't change the colors or customize it to different types of notification, but you can go ahead and go into your Android menu settings and go to LED indicator, and then you can go ahead and have the light glow, for instance, when the device is charging or if there's low battery. Here I only have it to blink whenever there's a missed event, such as a missed call, messaging, or emails. Another nice feature on the hardware side is that Samsung allows you to fully customize not only just the ringtones on this device, but also the vibration features. So here, there are different types of vibrations. And it pulsates at different lengths with different beats depending on what you have configured here, but you can also create your own pulsations so that you know whenever you have a missed call, and depending on If you like longer pulses, multiple rapid fire short pulses, you can go ahead and customize it to however you want, which is a nice feature. And then you can go ahead and play it back to see or feel how the vibration works. Unfortunately, despite having all these different vibrations, you can't customize if you want a certain vibration for, just a missed call, a certain vibration for a ringtone, for when a call is coming in, and a certain vibration for an SMS or an email. Having different vibrations that will quickly allow you to recognize what type of notification or incoming events you have with the phone in your pocket without taking a look at it. So unfortunately that feature isn't enabled, so hopefully Samsung will enable it with a future software update, because I think that would be kind of cool. In the US, both models of the Samsung Galaxy S3, the 16 and the 32 gigabytes of internal pre-configured storage, will come with 2 gigabytes of RAM, which will lead you to speedy multitasking and very fluid transitions, even with 3D and animations. Both models will be powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 processor, which is a dual-core model. This is different from the international version of the Samsung Galaxy S3, which has a quad-core Samsung Exynos processor. With the dual-core model, in our testing, we found that it is comparable to other flagship devices such as the HTC One X and the HTC Evo 4G LTE on Sprint's network. Performance of the Snapdragon S4 is very competitive and comparable to dual-core offerings such as those from NVIDIA and even with Samsung's own Exynos model. So Qualcomm did tweak the processor to give the most power out of its dual-core model. The nice thing about the buttons on the Galaxy S3 is that some of the buttons do serve multiple purposes. So instead of the back, the home, and the multitasking soft keys that you have on the Galaxy Nexus, for instance, here you have the menu, home, and back key. The home button, there are 3 purposes that the home button can serve. So for instance, if you're in an app, so let's go ahead and go into our Facebook app here. If you go ahead and tap on the home button, it will return you to the home screen, which is the typical feature of a home button. Another thing that you can do with the home button is press and hold on the home button, and it will bring you the multitasking menu. So here you can go ahead and switch to different applications. You can go ahead and manage your applications as well by closing them. And then you can go ahead and quickly double click on the home button, and it will activate S-Voice. S-Voice is Samsung's implementation of a voice-activated UI. And S-Voice can launch applications, it can perform different features and functionality, such as navigate to a specific location, pull up search results for local listings. You can go ahead and browse the web, ask it for the weather. You can go ahead and even set your alarm and then set your timer as well using your voice. The other cool thing is when your alarm is going off in the morning, you can go ahead and use S-Voice to say, to tell your alarm to snooze or to turn off the alarm as well, just by using your voice this way. So a single tap will take you to the home screen. A tap and hold will bring up the multitasking menu, and then double tap will take you to S-Voice, which is Samsung's version of Apple Siri on the iPhone 4S. The other button that does dual purpose or multi-purpose would be the menu button, which you can tap here and it will bring you up the menu, and then you can go into the typical Android settings menu here from the home screen. Or if you tap and hold on the menu button, it will bring you up the Android Universal Search. So let's go ahead and search for Gotta Be Mobile. And as you can see here with 4G LTE speeds on the AT&T network, this device is very snappy and There aren't any lags with the 2 gigabytes of RAM that I can find, and also coupled with the Snapdragon S4 processor, it's a very capable device. So, and then the back button only does one function, so that's the only button with a single purpose, and it will just take you to the previous screen or the previous web page depending on the different applications you're in. And here's a quick preview of the TouchWiz menu. We're going to go ahead and cover TouchWiz in greater detail in a future video. I'm Chung Nguyen for Gotta Mobile and Notebooks.com. Thanks for watching this video review of the hardware features of the Samsung Galaxy S3 smartphone. Please watch our other videos in this series as we cover other features of the Galaxy S3, including some of the TouchWiz features, the sharing features, as well as the camera and multimedia interface.